Elon Musk, the tech billionaire and CEO of Tesla, SpaceX, and X, formerly Twitter, has long been seen as a symbol of innovation. However, his statement, "Without me, Biden would have lost the presidency," is not an expression of humble pride, but rather an arrogant declaration steeped in the modern flavor of megalomania. It marks a dangerous shift from technological innovator to a man attempting to redefine the role of power in society by imposing his personal views on the entire democratic process of the United States. To fully grasp the arrogance of that statement, we need to return to its historical context. In 2020, Joe Biden defeated Donald Trump in one of the most divided elections in American history. The result reflected not just a political shift, but also a society attempting to overcome a crisis of trust and instability. Throughout that process, Elon Musk was not a central figure in any movement. He did not initiate any campaign efforts, nor did he directly influence millions of voters in battleground states. And yet he claims that without him, Biden would have lost. Upon closer analysis, this statement reveals a dangerous mindset that the mere existence or indirect action of a single individual could tip the balance of power in one of the world's foremost democracies. It's eerily reminiscent of how past authoritarian leaders anointed themselves as saviors of the nation or guides of history. And if such a claim came from a politician, it could be checked by democratic institutions. But Elon Musk is not a politician. He's a businessman. And worse, a businessman who owns and controls one of the most influential global media platforms. When someone possesses media power, technological influence, and the belief that they can decide the outcome of elections, an imbalance of power begins to emerge. The problem isn't just the statement itself. It lies in how Musk has used and continues to use his personal platform to shape public perception to serve his political ambitions and personal beliefs. After acquiring Twitter for $44 billion, Musk gradually transformed the platform into a tool for controlling narratives, pushing anti-woke themes, opposing democratic policies, and fostering an environment where unverified information spreads freely under the guise of free speech. But in this context, freedom is no longer a neutral concept. It is manipulated to serve what Musk believes is right. And if history has taught us anything, it is this: when freedom of speech is controlled by one individual, no matter how wealthy or intelligent, it ceases to be freedom. It becomes authoritarian power in disguise. Looking back to 2020, it's clear that media platforms played a significant role in shaping public opinion. But it's equally important to emphasize that at that time, Musk did not control Twitter. His later release of the so-called Twitter files, aimed at exposing how the Biden-era government influenced content moderation, does not prove he played a direct role in Biden's victory. In fact, if we accept that narrative, then the alleged actions of Twitter in 2020 were biased in Biden's favor, something Musk himself condemns. So if Musk believes that Twitter back then favored Biden, and he didn't own Twitter at the time, how could he claim responsibility for Biden's win? It's a logical paradox that exposes a deep inconsistency in his own rhetoric. Let's be clear, Elon Musk is a brilliant reformer in the field of technology, but that doesn't mean he understands how democracy works. To attribute the entire success of Biden's election to his own presence is not only self-aggrandizing, but it also shows a reckless disregard for the millions of American voters who stood in line, cast their ballots, and hoped that their votes would be respected. Musk's statement is like a slap in the face to public trust, and even more dangerous because it comes from someone with global influence. In an age where information spreads in an instant, a single word from Elon Musk can sway stock prices, crypto values, and now, even political perceptions. There's no denying that Musk holds a unique influence over the youth and tech enthusiasts. But that influence is professional, not political. When he starts making statements as if he were a historic figure, a man who steers the course of electoral history, the line between contribution and control becomes blurred. History has seen media moguls, from Rupert Murdoch to Silvio Berlusconi, use their platforms to influence politics. But they often did so through compromises with the public and the state. Musk, on the other hand, is doing it openly, blatantly, and, worse, with cheers from a segment of the public desperate for a savior against the current system. The phrase, "without me, Biden would have lost," doesn't just reflect arrogance. It is a form of denial of the collective role in a democratic process. It dismisses the work of volunteers who mobilized voters, the ballots cast by people of color in Georgia, the middle-aged women in Michigan, the young voters in California. It replaces the efforts of millions with the oversized ego of a tech billionaire. And that is something we must speak out against. In a democratic society, no one, not even those who build electric cars or launch satellites, has the right to stand above the collective will. Technology may change the way we live, but it should not change how we choose our leaders. And if we allow one person to believe that the system only functions because of him, then sooner or later, that system will be distorted by that very delusion. Elon Musk did not make Biden win. The voters did. The ballots, the debates, the mistakes, and the hopes, those are what shape an election. If Musk had any role, it was only as a byproduct of the media ecosystem he later sought to manipulate after the fact. In the end, history does not remember those who declare themselves heroes. It remembers those who act quietly, serve the community, and respect the collective will. If Elon Musk truly wants to change American politics, he should do what everyone else does. Run for office, face the public, and win through votes, not through self-glorifying posts on social media.